together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
Good afternoon. Getting closer to the Halloween time. The camera's kind of off. Let's get that sorted. There we go. I'm not done with the background. It's getting closer though. I have some shelves I'm going to put over here. I was going to put them over here, but I'm like, well, this stuff's kind of here. So I'm going to put them over there. Yeah, some black shelves and put some stuff on them. There we go. This is what I saw in my head. Yeah, it is. I've always been really good at matching things. Even growing up, I dressed myself. I dressed myself. Got my cat's new toy, the Smarty Cat track wobbler. This ought to last a good 2 hours. A good 2 hours. Amber says she can't wait to pick up Isaac. Yeah, they're all excited. They're cool. They're cool. What's this thing about here? Because I don't know what it is. People like to watch other people like open packages and stuff. So maybe my count will go up. Batteries. I knew I needed batteries. All right. All right. I'm presuming this goes right on here. Like it is so. All right. Put a battery in that thing. We'll see what happens. Already got cats showing up. Already showing up. So, but yeah, I'm mostly half of them are in here already because I hear the ding ding because I got a couple of those toys running around. I also got them some new food, so they're kind of wanting me to take care of that. Yeah. Yeah. My cats are like kids. Spoiled kids. I said I wasn't going to do anything today, and then I did. When my wife's not here, I got to take care of the other stuff. I had to go to Walmart. You know, I went to Walmart a few weeks ago. It was nothing but self-checkout. I go there today, and it's totally different. And then now the self-checkout was shut down. People look grumpy because they actually had to work. There was one guy, and all he was doing was standing there making sure nobody used the self-checkout. I thought the big thing going across blocking it off was enough, but I guess we have to hire people to do stupid shit now since we don't have jobs for other things. But at least he's working, all right? He's working, putting money on the table. So good for him, man. Good for him. I would hate that job. I would hate it. When I work, I gotta be busy. I hate downtime at work. All right. I gotta tell you the brand. Oh, I gotta do that, don't I? Man, I suck. Okay, so I bought this from Walmart. What is the brand? Smarty Cat. It's an exercise here. You know, maybe Smarty Cat will pay me a little bit of money if we're talking about their stuff here. Hashtag Smarty Cat track wobbler. Hashtag. I don't know what I'm doing. If you also want to know about this converter I bought, yep, it's an HDMI to DisplayPort adapter. Yes, I got this at Best Buy. I had a good experience. Go buy one today. Put away that pocketbook. There's more. Ever says they're worried with people food stamps are not coming in. That's actually exactly it. Man, country's going nuts. Thankfully, I know 1,000 different ways to cook ramen. I bought ramen while I was there, man. Yeah, and I'll be eating a lot of ramen this week. It's, it's how it works. It's the way, and I'm going to tell you now because I'm on Snap. I'm tired of fucking hearing it. I really am. I'm tired of hearing the whining and the complaining that you're not getting what you want. And I know what it is. It's a fear. It's a fear. Today we're talking about having one primary purpose. I'm not talking about AA. I'm talking about me. It's right. Me. Me, 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 me. Little breath. I gotta remember to breathe. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. I am Dion. I am your host. I am a robot. I was doing that with my grandson because he's going as Minecraft, right? And I'm like, I am a robot. And I kept doing that. So he's like, no, Grandpa. If you're here, please say hello. Whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. All right. I really didn't put anything together on this. I just know that I have one primary purpose. Scott and I won't be doing grocery shopping alone for a while. Well, us loading food into a cooler and all. Okay. So, yeah, there are cheaper ways to eat. And you don't need, I didn't buy a lot of sugar. Nope. Actually, I bought a pound of sugar. That's not true. Because I ran out of sugar for my coffee. Oh, that's so funny. I didn't buy much sugar, just a pound of it. Just a 4-pound bag, Big. Oh, but there are cheaper ways to eat. All right, but you have to figure it out. Noodles are a good way to go. Noodles are a good way to go. A lot of starch and stuff though. But um, you know, ground up some hamburger. You don't need hamburger helper. You just need some spices, some cheese, and some noodles. Buy a pound of hamburger, go buy some noodles, buy some cheese, and guess what? You can even make your own macaroni and cheese. You don't have to buy the crap kind. A little bit of milk. Okay. Eggs are even cheaper now. Okay. All right, let's get to this. I'm sure everybody wanted to hear all about the shopping, but so there's a lot of noise in recovery today, but when you strip it all back, there's only one reason that we're all here. To try and help the next person. Now, some of us we do it certain ways or things like that. This whole pay to play thing, though, that part has got to end. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, the reason that these bigger companies like treatment centers and like Denver Health, behavioral health, well, not behavioral health, MHCD, uh, Aurora Mental Health, Adams Counties. I'm going to tell you, they aren't not hiring peer coaches because of lack of money. No, that's not it. That's the reason they're giving, because they had a bad experience. They all had a bad experience with it because people are coming in and they're uneducated. They're not recovered. They're actually not what they're supposed to be. They can't be trusted. And they figured it out. And what that did, well, now everybody's just independent and doing what it is what they want to do with no direction. And it's getting now it's just getting sloppy. People are making up names. I mean, this whole mocktail phase, man, that has got to end. Okay. If somebody is sober curious, they will reach out. Okay. But mocktails lead to bullshit. It leads to triggers. It leads to relapse. And relapse can lead to death. It is unthinking. It is because you want what you want. That's why they're doing it. Right? But we only have one. I have one primary purpose for me, to stay sober and help the next person, not just alcoholics. No, a lot of people are affected by alcoholism. Pretty much everybody walking around is somebody that I can help. Now, am I running around forcing it down their throats? No, no. I don't work that way. I don't promote. No. So I see a lot of people, you got to put those egos aside and stop making stuff up. Stop making it up. It's not working. Even some of these names are, let's see if we can find something here. I'll go on Instagram right now, and I bet I can scroll a little bit, and I will get something. I will get something. Uh, that's a text solution. They're coming up like, you know, dry and fly. Okay, you want to be dry? Even naming what you do, even naming what you do. No. It was a while for that. It took me a little bit to put together trudging together, but even my name is intentional. If we're gonna lie right out the bat, mocktails with Trish. Okay. No, it's because you want to be the center of attention. You want to hold parties. You want to do these things, and I understand. I get it. Okay, but you are not helping anybody. You're enabling people. There is so much enabling going on. Oh, it's okay. What we'll do is we're just gonna take this and we're gonna make it just for you. Well, they can go do that all. No, see, there needs to be community. There needs to be fellowship. Right? Recovery comes in a lot of different forms. Sure, it does. Right? But there's some things that it is not. Now, if you want to get a bunch of people together and go hiking and you did it sober, great. But it's not a recovery hike. We got to stop making things specially made for alcoholics. No. That leads to relapse. No. Because as an alcoholic, I have to figure out what's right and what's wrong. I'm sorry, I'm looking at this juice. Okay. And even then, it's not, there's people out there, they're acting like they're freaking saviors. When they're sitting there claiming things that they're not even capable of doing. We have to remember that you cannot transmit something you do not have. And if you are not a recovered alcoholic, you can't transmit it. You'll be able to fake it for a little bit. Anybody can go to Chat GPT and put certain things in. And the hard part is this: people are buying it, and they're buying it because they see an easier, softer way. And what is that easier, softer way going to lead to? Relapse and death. It's sad. It's sad to watch people running around doing whatever they want, alcoholics doing whatever they want with no accountability. This is serious business here. And I take the program very seriously. Me, not as much. That's why I have something in my life to remind me what I'm doing. Left to my own devices, I'll go off the rails. I will get out of my lane. Absolutely. I don't mean to, but I will. So we have one primary purpose: carry the message to the alcoholic who still suffers. But let's add a little bit more onto that. How about this? Let's rephrase it a little bit. I'm just going to use me. I have but one primary message: to carry the message to the alcoholic and to those who suffer from the alcoholic. Yes. Right? The combining of drugs and alcohol and mental health and addiction. We've tried this before. It failed. And I absolutely have nothing against people trying to get off of drugs. Absolutely, I do not. Right? Because I know what it's like. But alcoholics are different. It's an acceptance, and I was listening to somebody the other day in an AA meeting, and they were speaking, and it was all on heroin use. Right? They didn't say anything that touched me. I did not totally understand what they were saying. I didn't get it. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't. I don't know what it means to feel. I don't know how it feels to have heroin in me. I don't know how it feels to have crack. Cocaine I did a few times. I know what that's like, but I didn't take it to an extreme. Well, that and I just couldn't afford it. That's my drinking money, man. I'm not spending my drinking money on cocaine. Why? Because alcohol was my drug of choice. And recovery's not the same either. We can't keep running around saying that we have that nothing is a one size fits all. No, it is not. You're correct there. I would agree with that because we're all different people, but we are not so different that I need to have something tailor made for Dion. I am not that different. There are at least 2 million other people going through what I'm going through right now. That's how many people are in Alcoholics Anonymous. Okay. Now, 1 in every 10 people are alcoholic. Let's find out what that is. Okay. How many people in the world are alcoholic?
Around 209 million people.
209 million people. 209. There's 2 million people in AA. There you go. How many people in the world are addicted to drugs? Probably going to be higher. Nope, not even half. 64 million. 64 million. So 209 million for alcoholics, 64 million for drug addicts. Okay. I'm not going to go into the difference right now. I'm just saying. Now, is Dion willing to help somebody that has an addiction to drugs or porn or something like that? As far as God goes, yes. But let's say we sit down and do that 4 steps. See, I don't have the ammunition I need to get through to this person because since I'm not a drug addict, I can't say certain things because I don't know. I would be assuming them. So what am I going to do in this case? I'm going to find somebody better suited to help them. That is the right thing to do. That's the correct thing to do. That's where it gets a little individualized. We already have it individualized. NA is for people with drug addiction and AA is for people with alcohol addiction. Some people have both. Some people have, but I know plenty of people in AA with other addictions, not drugs, other addictions that never bring it up in the AA meetings. They may say, I'm a double dipper. I also go to another 12 step group, but that's as far as I hear it. So why is it okay for drug addicts to come in and say, because they think it's the same? It is not the same. I know you wish it to be, but it's not. You want to be one of the crowd. I get it. I do. So let me help you find your crowd. I can show you what I did to find my crowd. Took me a little while. I didn't quite fit in Alcoholics Anonymous. I kind of had to make my own. And that was okay too. There's directions in the big book on how to do that. All right. So carrying the message doesn't mean preaching either. We don't get to preach. And that's what I'm seeing a lot of. People running around preaching. Or they start out with, I was, I was a really bad alcoholic, and and their videos just start out that way. Why do we need that? We already know what you went through. We're looking for solution here. And if a person is not talking solution, then they are living in the problem. Okay? So carrying the message doesn't mean preaching. It means showing up with honesty and hope, right? I'll give you a good example. Alcoholics are liars from the day they are born. Drug addicts don't start lying until they get addicted to a drug. There's one big difference right there. See, they already know the difference between right and wrong. I do not. Not in all cases. But if I'm going to do a broad stroke, I'm correct in that. And I know you people want to argue with me. Go read the DSM and then you tell me. Go educate yourself on that, because you're just basing that off your experience and your experience only. Well, that's only one perception. You're going to need a better perception than that. If you are truly going to want, if you truly want to help other people, you are going to need to understand that you are not everything. It is often, I do not have the answer. That's why we have groups. All right. When we forget our purpose, ego steps in and turns service into self-promotion. Do I need to say more on that? Do I need to? I don't think I need to say much more on that one. What are they looking for? Attention. They want attention. And I understand that one too, because I love being the center of attention. I'm also willing to give up the center of attention if it means that somebody else who usually doesn't get to be the center of attention gets it. I'm also willing to do that. I'm okay with that. All right. And I get a lot of attention because I do a shit ton of service work, a lot. In fact, at the present moment, I refuse to, I will not do any more service work. Well, I have, outside of what I'm already doing. I'm not adding more on. So, and you're still talking about juice over there. Oh, that's the same one. Sorry. She's still talking. Like, how much lag time is on this one? I'm actually going to switch over to, they're not, but they don't sell it. I'm switching over to Slice because it's still got that fizzy in it, but it doesn't have the sugar. Sugar's next on my list. I'm slowly getting rid of it. Yeah, pound of sugar. Right? And it's not about what I'm getting from helping. It's about what God can do through me. And why is that? Because I found out a secret. I'm ahead on my gifts when it comes to God. I'm one ahead. Okay? And these are gifts. He gives them to me. I don't have to really do much for that to happen. Right? But I don't need to worry about what I'm getting by helping you because I already got it. It's already been received. That's why I can help. It's that grace of God that allows me to do that. I don't need to worry about what I'm going to get back from it. I used to worry, but now, no. All right. Now my relationships are reciprocal. When I'm helping someone, I don't expect that and certainly in the beginning, right? But how many times have you seen a newcomer in a meeting and it reminded you, oh yeah, I ain't fucking going back to drinking. Aha. See, that person helps me more than I tend to usually help them in the beginning anyway. Yeah. So see, I already got what I needed. They didn't even do anything. They showed up to a meeting. Like, oh man, I remember being there. I don't miss it. I don't miss it. Thank you, God. Thank you. Okay. Now you could think that, but let's not say in meetings. I really don't like it when people say, yeah, when newcomers come in, they just remind me that it still doesn't work out there. That's to me, that's demeaning. Of course, I'm kind of a sensitive dude too. So, right, every conversation, meeting, or post can be an act of carrying the message. And you'll find if you go to my Facebook, then it wasn't always that way, but you'll find that most of my stuff is geared towards solution or what it is that I see. but I do not bring up a problem without the solution. Even this morning, I put out, let's remember when you're pointing a finger, you're pointing 3 more back at you. It has a solution in there. Quit pointing the finger. And I wrote that because of the food stamps, because of the SNAP. Yes. I find it very odd that people are, okay, no, that's an opinion and it don't belong here because it was political and it don't belong here. Nah. Right? You never know whose life you're going to touch just by showing up and being real and sober. Man, I got to tell you, there, I cannot count how many times people have come up to me and said, Dion, because you said this, Dion, because you did this, it gave me a chance to get sober. I have such a much better life now. Thank you. It's the biggest joy you'll get, especially when they come up to you and they, Dion, I don't know if you remember me, but 2 years ago, I was in this meeting and you said something directly to me and it changed everything for me. Yeah. You know, yeah. And it'll happen to you too. Okay? But remember, you can't transmit something you do not have. That includes serenity, happiness, joy, and it's all done by being a good example. That's how it's done. Now, a couple people well, Tyler comes on with me here. You guys, you listen to him too. So, but we were having the group conscious yesterday, and he brought up, we got to alleviate Dion, and I appreciated that. I appreciate that that other people in the group are thinking, you know what, Dion's got too much on his plate. So then what happened? Some honesty came out, and I appreciated it, right? Because people are, one person was saying, I read the host duties because we're trying to get people to host more, and there were some things that scared me. The security part scared me. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. And it's only in there so that you have it. We have not had one troll. We've never had one. I've only ever had to kick out one person, and that's because they were in a meeting right before that, and they were blatantly hitting on the girls. And they made one remark, and I'm like, "You're gone, you're gone." It's the only time that has happened, and they have not been back. So, but I can now. I'm like, oh, what I need to do is take that out. I just need to take it out because really, there is no security. You know what the security is? Oh, let this person in. Let this person in. Oh, let's mute that. It's not even really security. So, but now that I know that, and I wish I would have known the fear before so I could alleviate it, right? And I told them, I'm like, you know what? If you decide to host, all you need to do is make me, Tyler, and Amber co-hosts. And even if we do get a troll, you ain't even gonna notice because we're gonna boot them before you see them. Right? And what is all of that? Well, it's towards a primary purpose. I'm very proud of our group. We're moving forward, and as a group, we're growing, things like that. I really wish more people would have been, there was one thing that we talked about, and there were several people that weren't there that need to hear what we were talking about. Now I got to put it in chat, and I'm not sure how they're going to take it, but it needs to be said. See, I made a mistake. And since I'm a leader, people tend to follow me. Right? They kind of do what I do. Even at the end of the meeting, I say, does anybody have a burning desire? That means you're going to go out and drink, you're going to hurt yourself, or you're going to hurt someone else. Okay? I've been saying that for years. And people started, it's not in the script, but other people started saying it. And that's okay. I stole it from someone, I'm sure. I don't remember where I got it. I doubt I even came up with it myself. But but what we were talking about is I noticed that we're doing a lot of talking in between shares. And I'm the one that started that. Yeah. So I don't want other people to take offense to it, but if they do, it's not really my problem. But presenting presenting it is the right thing to do and doing it the right way. All right. But now I'm kind of like, well, some of the people that needed to hear it weren't there. So I'm not sure. I might have to put something in chat. So if you keep your purpose clear, the rest takes care of itself. What a great thing. Thank you, Chat GPT. That came from chat. Yeah, that's true. When I work on my spiritual malady and keep things simple, what needs to be done is pretty clear. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. So we have one job, and it's a gift. It's a gift. I believe this program was given to me freely, and I give it away freely. It's kind of what I do. All right. So, all right. With that, check out my stuff. Go to trudgingtogether.org. Um, go put in Daily Trudge at YouTube. I actually lost some subscribers, went down by 5 people. I must have said something that pissed some people off. But guess what? They were listening. All right. I don't mean to, but if you're not trying to live a spiritual life, I will make you highly uncomfortable. I'm not doing that to pick on you. I'm not even going out of my way to do it. It's just that I refuse to be anything else but me. I refuse. I'm not going to be anything anybody else tells me I need to be. All right. Now I do take suggestions like, my therapist told me a couple weeks ago, she said, you're being too humble. She was being nice. She was saying, Dion, you're kind of being codependent. And I caught it. And I did something about it. Because, but you're helping people. No, I'm making it worse by allowing other people to depend upon me for their own stuff. And that's not okay. I can't do that. I want to. There's this huge part of me that wants you to avoid what I avoided because it wasn't any good. I'd rather you just got to the solution and live that life. And I hope you find it at a very young age. I hope you do. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And keep on.